The new mystery drama movie, Woman in the Window, was meant to be due in cinemas last year. But we all know what happened in 2020. I was so looking forward to watching this one. It's just arrived on Netflix. But was it worth the wait? Is that woman still at the window? God, so nosy. Hi, my name's Carl. Thank you so much for joining me and welcome to another video. Today's video is for the review of the new 2021 movie The Woman in the Window, which was directed by Joe Wright and it's based on a novel by AJ Finn. I'm so pleased Netflix has finally got hold of this movie. This movie was due in cinemas in 2020. We all know what happened in 2020 with the pandemic and all the films getting delayed. This movie got delayed twice and then they decided to ground it all together and not show it in cinemas, which was just such a shame. Not forgetting it was a completed movie and the trailer was out there. I was really looking forward to watching this and I'm so pleased Netflix has got hold of it and I can finally watch it. If you're visiting my channel for the very first time, hello and a massive welcome to you. Please consider subscribing and sharing this video if you can, because it really does help the channel out and I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. The story follows an acrophobic or even agoraphobic, I think it actually depends on where you actually are in the world and how you pronounce that saying, woman called Anna Fox. She's played by Amy Adams and lives alone in New York. Now Anna's so scared she can't even go outside of her own house, so she spends most of her time watching people from her window. She's very clever at knowing a lot about her neighbours, as you would if you spent most of your time looking out the window at your neighbours. I don't actually think she's actually spying on her neighbours. I think she's just curious and it helps her deal with not being able to go outside. Almost straight away we're introduced to Anna's new neighbours who have just moved in across the street. Anna's very curious about them and we could tell straight away there's something not quite right with them, or there's an unhappiness within their family. Alistair Russell, played by the wonderful Gary Oldman, and Jane, played by Julianne Moore, and their son Ethan, they kind of enter Anna's world when Ethan comes over to give a gift. Anna's life is about to change because one night she thinks she witnesses a horrific crime from across the street. In the movie, Anna is scared of most things, including sudden noises as well. There was a few scenes where you could actually hear her breathing. Then you would hear the music and this just ramps up the tension and fear. And there was a few scenes in this that actually made me jump as well. I thought some of the camera shots were really well done as well. There was a few scenes where the camera would be up the top looking all the way through Anna's house, through the stairs, all the way into the hallway. This just created space and it worked really well. And there was also a couple of scenes where the camera would be focusing on Anna, but behind her you would see this huge window, and then through that window you would see her neighbour's building as well. I just thought it really did work well. There was also a couple of scenes worth mentioning involving Anna lying on the sofa with the TV on, and on that TV you'd have a guy and he'd be throwing a blanket. It's almost like he was throwing a blanket over Anna. It just worked really well. So when we're looking at the cast of The Woman in the Window, not only do we have Amy Adams, Julianne Moore and Gary Oldman, but we also have Jennifer Jason Leigh, Wyatt Russell and Anthony Mackie as well, who both appeared in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So this is a brilliant cast and you would expect this movie to be absolutely amazing. Don't get me wrong, it was actually good, but I'm actually quite pleased I didn't actually see it on the big screen. Because when I watch a movie, if it's a good movie, I expect to be telling my friends afterwards and saying, did you watch this movie and can you remember this scene? But after I watched the actual movie, I've kind of forgotten about it really. But having said that, The Woman in the Window was actually quite a good watch. I had a lot of fun with this movie. Yes, it wasn't a brilliant movie, but it wasn't bad either. The movie does contain a star-studded cast which I thought worked really well together, as you would expect. I must give a special mention because I don't think any reviewer on YouTube is actually going to mention him, and that is Anna's fluffy white cat called Punch. I just fell in love with him. Such a lovely white cat, and what a name for a cat as well, Punch. This movie will keep you guessing right the way through to the end, which is always good to see in the movie, whether you can actually guess the plot or not. Me, I got it totally wrong. And also the movie wraps up nicely as well, which is always good to see. The age rating is a 15 here in the UK. It has a running time of 1 hour 41 minutes, so it's not an actual long movie, so it's easily doable. There's no sex or nudity, there's a lot of profanity and a ton of violence. Please do join me in the comments. I would love to know, have you seen The Woman in the Window yet? If so, what's your actual thoughts on this movie? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Did you guess the plot? I would love to hear, thank you. I'm going to give The Woman in the Window 4 out of 5 popcorns. If you would like to know what my popcorn score rating means, I'll leave it down below in my description. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this review. If you like this video, please do give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe if you can. It really does help the channel out and I'd really appreciate it as well. Thank you so much. You've been watching Carl on the channel Carlinio 9. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.